Hi there, guys. Welcome to another Aeons End 2nd edition video. My name is Drogs. This is Fully Painted Miniatures. I'm going up against Crooked Mask. This is going to be my 5th attempt on expert difficulty, trying to take him out. So he basically has these corruption cards that get put into your deck, and when you draw them, they activate a negative ability and a positive ability. It's kind of the theme with a lot of Crooked Mask stuff. It does a really bad negative and then kind of a random positive to balance it out a little bit. The difference between regular mode and expert difficulty is that the expert difficulty cards you can't get rid of. So normally you would use them and then you put them back in the bottom of this deck. But instead of that, you put them into your discard pile, so you're just constantly drawing them over and over and over again. And by the end of the game, you're getting hands where you have, 3 corruption cards and only 2 of your cards. So they really hurt your hand size quite a bit, and it's very difficult. So I haven't had a really good strategy against him yet. But I'm keeping the same 2 mages for now, Brahma and Kadir, because they are the 2 healing mages. Brahma has a special ability that heals 4, and Kadir's unique card, Emerald Shard, heals 1. And Kadir also has a very good offensive ability, allowing you to return 3 spell cards to your hand and then double them up in breaches, or double prep. The reason that's also really good is because it's really hard to get cards that you want to buy. Your decks end up getting really large and your discard piles end up getting shuffled a lot. So this allows you to purchase cards, especially late game, and then pull them right out of the deck and play them. So you don't have to wait 3-4 rounds to get that card after you purchase it. You can use it almost right away if you have their special ability. So I did change up the store a little bit from the last time. So I got rid of the Jade, and we're going to start with Sifter's Pearl. It's a 3 cost, 2 Aether generating card that allows you to reveal the top card of both players' decks and discard them if you choose. It's super useful it's really the only way to skip corruption cards consistently. I also took Searing Ruby. It's a 4 cost gem, gains 2 Aether, but it turns 3 Aether if you use it towards purchasing one of the 4 spells. And then this is the new one. It's Burning Opal. 5 cost, generates 3 Aether. And you may discard a card in your hand to allow your ally to draw an additional card. So this makes sense in some situations where you end up with just like a single crystal you can't do anything with because your hands get shuffled and get a little weird. And it allows you to give those extra cards to your ally. I definitely went with a more expensive store than what I've been playing with. Pretty consistent. I've been using cheaper stores, but this time I'm going on the expensive side. I also took Focusing Orb. 4 costs, focus either of the mage's breaches, and you can destroy it to give Gravehold 3 life. I think that's basically a requirement in all expert difficulty Nemesis challenges. Just for the extra 15 potential life you can give Gravehold. And then I took Mage's Talisman again, which gives both of them 1 charge. This is basically my favorite relic. It is a little pricey, but just helps you get those charges up and get them consistently. I then took Spectral Echo. Costs 3, deals 2 damage, and destroy a card in your hand. Give me a little bit of deck curation. And then I got rid of Ignite, which I had last time but didn't really use. And I kept Essence Stuff, deal 3 damage. You may discard a card to grant 1 life to either mage. I also kept Planar Insight, 6 cost, deals 2 damage, plus 1 for each open breach. So that can go from 2 to 6, and then you can get the additional plus 1 from the 3rd or 4th breach, bringing it to 7. They're all open. And then I took Arcane Nexus, which is the most expensive spell in this set. Most expensive card, period. And while prepped once per turn during your main phase, you may return a gem you played this turn to your hand. So, pretty cool. And it deals 4 damage. So it lets you double play a gem. Now the way I play this is, the way I read that is I can prep this spell and then double play a gem after that on that same activation. I don't know if that's true or not. If it may be that I'm supposed to wait to the next activation for that mage, but that is how I read the card. I don't see anything that would prevent me from doing so. So, all right. So my strategy going into this game is I'm going to focus on the economy much more than I normally do for expert difficulty, really making sure I can get some of those searing rubies and burning opals and sifter's pearls, and just not really going for the spells right away. And just hopefully I can get my economy going really, really strong, and I'll be able to make really good use of the economy going forward. I basically have 6 rounds, 3 tier 1 card, 3 rounds of tier 1 and 3 rounds of tier 2, and then we're in tier 3 and a game's based. If I don't have game 1 by that point, it's definitely over. So we're just going to start and see how it goes, and hope for good turn order luck. That's going to make or break this game. So we're going to start with Kadir. She's going to prep Spark, and she's going to generate 4 power and buy a Searing Ruby. It is her turn again. She's going to cast Spark. That's First Blood on Crooked Mask, dealing 1 damage, bringing him down to 69. She will then spend 3 to open her second breach and prep 2 Sparks. Then Brahma is going to prep Buried Light, and with her 4 crystals, she's going to buy a Searing Ruby. Then Nemesis. And we start with the Corruptor. He has 6 life. He deals 1 damage to Gravehold each turn, and every time you damage him, you gain a Corruption card. Alright, Brahma again. We're going to cast Buried Light, not against the Corruptor, but against Crooked Mask directly. 60, bring in 68. And that generates 1 power. We will then spend 3 more, and we will open her second breach. 1 and 2, and prep 2 Sparks. All right. Nemesis card, Corruptor activates, bring me down to 29. So that was a pretty good first round. Sorry, I didn't draw a card. Tempt, the player with the most crystals in hand. That's Brahma. Discards all their crystals. Suffers 3 damage and gains a supply card worth 4 or less. Okay. So I'll gain another ruby. So I would have actually bought an Arcane Nexus because she had 7 power towards the spell. So that's slightly frustrating. But it's fine. She has 2 rubies. I don't think I got 2 rubies for either mage at all last game, and that was my highest end card. I did not have Burning Opals. So, give you an idea of how strong my economy was in the last game. Okay, we're going to start with Kadir. She's going to cast both Sparks for 1 damage each, bringing Crooked Mask down to 66. She then has 3, 4, 6, 7 Aether she can generate for spell, 6 regular, and she can exchange one of those Aether for a life point with the Emerald Shard. But I think I'm just gonna buy Arcane Nexus. Why not get the best card in the game right away? Especially one that lets you double cast gems. Alright. Yeah, okay. I was confused by the cards for a second, but yeah, she had to discard. All right, she's going to double cast Spark, 2 damage directly to Crooked Mask. And then Searing Ruby is worth 2, 3 towards the spell, so she will buy Spectral Echo for 3. And Nemesis. Corruptor does 1 to Gravehold. And we draw Eye of Nothing. You can discard it with spending 6 power. Power 2, unleash twice. Haven't seen that one in a while. Okay, and we do get Brahma again. She's going to prep Buried Light. And she has 4 power. Since she already has 2 Searing Rubies, I'm going to buy a Focusing Orb. And then we get Kadir. She's going to prep 2 Sparks. And with her 3, she will also buy a Spectral Echo. I only did that. I still want to focus more on the economy, but I like having each of them have 1 Spectral Echo early to just kind of start that process of curating. So Corruptor is going to do 1 damage again to Gravehold, bring us to 27. We take 1 token off Eye of Nothing and draw a card. Unleash. Any player suffers 3 damage and draws a card. So Unleash is going to... We're going to give a Corruption card to Kadir. Take her discard and shuffle. She will also be the one taking the 3 damage. Rolo, Daddy's shooting a video, okay? It's not playtime. If you're a good boy, I'll give you a treat after the video, okay? He's standing behind me with his favorite ball just at my feet, and you probably hear him kind of moaning. He wants me to chase him. And of course I get the Corruption card. That's fine. Alright, so that was the second round. Not too shabby. Brahma's got, what, 2 Searing Rubies, a Focusing Orb, and a Spectral Echo. Kadir got... Did she get 2 Searing Rubies? I think she got 1 Searing Ruby, a Spectral Echo, and an Arcane Nexus. I think that's what she has. Just hold on 1 sec, too. I'm going to grab a beer. Alright, I'm back. I was at the grocery store doing my shopping, and they had these 6-pack of these Belgian triples, very, very cheap. It's quite tasty. Alright, so this is Brahma's turn. We're going to cast Buried Light. It's going to deal 1 damage directly to Crooked Mask, bringing in 63. Also generates 1 power. So technically, that does give me 6 power. And I couldn't use that to get rid of the Eye of Nothing. I could also... Yeah, I'll just do that. 4, 6. And then prep the Spark. But that will allow me to discard the Eye of Nothing. I don't want him unleashing twice. I could have bought an Arcane Nexus as well. That's why I was debating it. Okay, Nemesis. Corruptor does 1 damage yet again. And we're going to get Bleed Static, Power 3. The player with the most prep spells suffers 2 damage for each of their prep spells. No discard. All right, we do get Kadir. Oh, we got to do the Corruption first. Gravefold suffers 2 damage, bring it to 24. Focus a Breach. So I'm actually going to focus this third one for Brahma. I don't know if I can. I don't think that's allowed. So I will do this one, the third breach for Kadir. Then I will cast 2 Sparks, doing 2 damage to Crooked Mask, bringing the 61. I will then prep Arcane Nexus and Spark. And I generate 2, 3, 4 power, 5 towards a spell, where I can remove 1 for a life point. So for example, I could get a Focusing Orb, but I couldn't get a Focusing Orb and a life point. I think I'm going to take the life point, healer to 8, and then I'm just going to take 3 and buy a Sifter's Pearl. Get that economy going. 5 crystals. What a terrible hand. All right, and then she... Oh! I should have been able to use that ruby twice, though. So I can use it and then generate it again. Right? That's how I read it. Once prepped, once per turn during your main phase, you may return a gem you played while prepped. Once per turn during your main phase, you may return a gem you played this turn to your hand. So previous to this turn, I return that ruby. So I still buy the Sifter's Pearl. I then return the ruby, and I buy a second Spectral Echo. That's what we'll do. For 3. Now it is her turn again. We will use Arcane Nexus. We will cast that, doing 4 damage to the Corruptor. Gives her a Corruption card. We'll also cast Spark, dealing 1 damage to Crooked Mask, bringing him to 60. And we then have 5 crystals, and I will buy a Burning Opal. Two corruption cards. Nemesis, Corruptor does 1 damage. Remove a token off Bleed Static. Burden. The players collectively gain 2 corruptions and place them on top of their deck. Give them 1 each. Any player may focus a breach. That'll be Brahma. Alright, now it is Brahma's turn. She will cast Spark for 1. Crooked Mask, bring him to 59. She will then prep Spectral Echo and Spark. And she will use her Focusing Orb on her 3rd breach. Now this generates 3 power, 4 towards the spell. There are no 4-point spells, so I will take a Sifter's Pearl. So that was the end of the 3rd round. So I'm basically halfway there. Rough. So I have what? 1 Arcane Nexus. Yep. 0 Planar Insights, 0 Essence Thefts. 1 Focusing Orb. Yep. 0 Mage's Talismans. 3 Spectral Echoes. So that's something. 3 Rubies. one Burning Opal, and one or two Sifter's Pearls. Two. Obviously, that's divided between both mages, but that's kind of what we have going on. So I would love to get an Arcane Nexus, one Arcane Nexus, two Planar Insights, two Essence Stuffs. All the Focusing Orbs, all the Mage's Talismans, and say like 3 more Burning Opals, plus some Sifter's Pearls. Another 2, let's say. Sounds about right. Would be perfect. I actually want all of the Arcane Nexuses and Planar Insights. Nemesis is going to go first, so that's 1 damage to Gravehold from the Corruptor, another token off the Bleed Static, and another card, Pain Sower, 11 life. Any player suffers 2 damage, a different player focuses a breach. So that doesn't seem like a big deal, but if he hits 2-3 times, that's 6 damage. And adding with the corruption cards in there, that can be a real pain. All right, we get Kadir next, though. So, Gravehold suffers 2 damage. Look at the top card of your deck. You may destroy it. Then destroy this. Okay. It's actually a good thing I got that card. Gravehold suffers 2 more damage, brings it to 18. Focus a breach. 3rd. Destroy this. All right. So because that breach did get focused, I can prep all 3 of these cards this turn. That ends her turn. It's not the end of the world, but not the best either. All right. We do get Brahma. Suffer 1 damage, brings her to 6. Deal 2. She will use that on the Corruptor. When this minion suffers damage, the player who dealt that damage gains a corruption and places it at the top of their deck. What do you think, guys? I killed the Corruptor using a corruption card. Do I still gain a corruption? I'm the player. It says the player, not the mage. I say, yeah, I probably do. It's unfortunate. All right. So now Brahma will cast Spectral Echo and Spark. That's going to deal 3 damage to the Pain Sower. Bring him from 11 to 8. She will then prep Buried Light, and with 3 remaining power, she will buy a Sifter's Pearl. Nemesis. Bleed Static goes off. The player with the most preps. Ooh, Jesus. Player with the most prep. I forgot about that. So Kadir takes 6 damage. Wow. From Bleed Static. And then the Pain Sower is going to do 2 damage to Brahma. Bring her down to 4. And that will focus the 4th breach for Kadir. That sucked. Unleash twice. And Gravehold suffers 3 damage. 1/1. Alright, I'm going to cheat this time. Or not cheat, but that's just not fair. They're both going to Brahma. It's not cheating. Oh. Well, I should have continued reading the card. 15. That's 3 damage from the Awaken. I could have just put the friggin' Corruptor back into play. With 6 life, I would have just done that. But whatever, it's fine. Too late now. Look how fat this deck already is. Like, are you kidding me? I don't have an Insight. In essence, I don't have an Instant Stuff, the Planar Insight. I don't have a Mage's Talisman. I got 1 Focusing Orb in here somewhere. Like, come on. She doesn't even have an Arcane Nexus. What are all these cards? That's way too many. Ugh, this is going to be a short game, I think. Alright, we do get Kadir. Spectral Echo plus 2 Sparks is worth 4 damage. Bringing Pain Sower from 8 to 4. Allows me to destroy a card. I will destroy Crystal. I will then prep Spectral Echo. And I have Sifter's Pearl and Searing Ruby. Sifter's Pearl lets them reveal and discard. So that's 4, 5 towards a spell. So Essence Theft or a Focusing Orb. I will take the Focusing Orb. And I will also heal myself 1. Back up to 3 life. Craziness. Alright. Brahma. Gravefold suffers 3 damage. Bring it to 12. Gain 2 life. That's nice. Bumps her up to 6. I will put that over on Kadir. Then 3, 5 power, 6 towards the spell. Mage's Talisman. Almost went Planar Insight, but did I forget to cast spell? Is what it is. That's why you shouldn't drink and play these games, guys. I'm only on my 2nd beer. I'm just open. I only had 1 while I had dinner. But that's okay. Definitely do better earlier in the day. Anyway. Alright, that's good. Okay, Kadir again. Let's see. Discard 2 non-corruption cards. Okay. Suffer 2 damage. Shuffle any player's turn order card back into the turn order deck. And then suffer 1 damage. You may destroy a non-corrupted card. I don't want to. So I won't. I will cast Buried Light, dealing 1 damage to the Pain Sower. Also generates 1 Aether. Sifter's Pearl gains 2 Aether. Lets both players reveal. She will discard the crystal. Hey. No. No jumping, paw. Ow, that hurts. Be a good girl and you'll get a treat. It's okay, guys. It's okay. I'm still shooting a video. Alright, so that generated 3 power. And she will buy another Sifter's Pearl. 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's her turn again, so that's nice. Focusing Orb, focus the 3rd breach. Prep to 2 Sparks, and generates 3 power, 4 towards the spell. And that's another Sifter's Pearl. Ooh, whoa. Okay. Kadir. Spectral Echo, 2 damage to the Pain Sower, bringing him down to 1. Destroy Crystal. She will then prep Arcane Nexus and Spark, and she will use Burning Opal and Crystal. You know what? She's just going to use the Burning Opal, discard the Crystal. That allows Brahma to draw another card. So that generates 3 power. Arcane Nexus lets her pull Burning Opal back out, use it again. So she has 6 power. Our turn, and she will buy a Planar Insight. Guys, calm down. It's a little too rough. Woof. Nemesis. Any player suffers 2 damage. Kadir has 1 life, but that opens Brahma's 3rd breach. Nemesis card. Power 1. Gravehold suffers 18 damage. You may players may collectively discard up to 6 gems, preventing 3 damage for each damage dealt that way. Okay. So it opens her 3rd breach. Both my mages are at 1 life. Pulverizing Ray then activates, dealing 18 damage. 4, 5, 6, completely canceling out Pulverizing Ray. Needlemaw. Gravehold will suffer 2 damage on each activation, 11 life. God, not going so hot. All right. Gravehold suffers 2 damage. Focus a breach. Opens her 4th breach. Gravehold suffers 2 damage. Brings us to 8. Look at the top card of your deck. You may destroy it. I will. Gain a spell from any supply pile. Okay, Nexus. Gain 3 corruptions and place them on top of your deck. I'll also give that to Brahma. Okay. I will use Spark. Deal 1 damage to the Pain Sower, killing it. And Arcane Nexus will deal 4 damage to the Needlemop, bringing him to 7. Right, I just drew 3. Brahma, suffer 1 damage, that exhausts her. Deals 2 to Needlemop. So that will destroy her 1st breach and discard that Spark. It also removes any focus, which she doesn't have. And Crooked Mask unleashes twice. So one's going to be on Kadir. And the second one just does 2 damage to Gravehold. Brings us to 6. So I'm not doing good at all. Very, very bad. And I'm getting pretty... I think this is, what, the 5th round? So I got, what, 1 more round and then I'm in tier 3, basically. Which means, because it hasn't come up yet, that I'm going to get this turn one of that card that has you discard 2. If I get it first, Gravehold will only take, if I'm lucky, Gravehold will only take 4 damage. And if I get it last, it's a game loser. So, and I never really got the focusing orbs to heal. So that's the thing. All right, she will use Mage's Talisman, however, and cast Spark. I'm sorry, she cast Spark first, dealing 1 damage to Needlemall. She then uses Mage's Talisman, and that gives Both Brahma and Kadir. 1 charge. Although, game's over the second Kadir gets a turn, so, yeah, that's what it is. Unless Brahma can somehow get enough power to get her heal off. Yeah, so I need 2 1 cards in a row so I can heal Kadir. Otherwise, it's game over. Yeah, this is not going well. Although I do like this setup, I don't think I'm supposed to be playing this later in the day while I've been drinking. And while I was able to get good economy going, I don't have focusing orbs, I don't have mage's talismans, I don't have spells. Not good ones anyway, so what's the difference? Game over. Suffer 1 damage, kills Kadir. Suffer 1 damage, suffer 2 damage. So that's game over. Both mages are exhausted, and Gravehold is destroyed. Yep, so that was the 5th attempt on Crooked Mask. I did better damage early. So I like going with the more expensive cards. Here's what I'm thinking. He gives you really bad hands. And he screws up your whole plan with your deck. So the only real way around that I can think of is by using Arcane Nexus, Lava Tendril, and Oblivion Swell. And that way, I just leave them prepped. Right? And then Essence Stuff would be the force spell, so I could heal. So Arcane Nexus lets me double cast gems. Oblivion Swell gives me an extra power. Lava Tendril basically gives me free sparks to like whittle down the opponents every turn. And it's still, you know, it does 3 damage for a 4-cost spell. It's a very efficient damage dealing spell. And then I focus on getting the best possible economy and relics. I mean, Oblivion Swell can do 7 damage too with a Burning Opal. 8 in our 3rd or 4th reach if it sits there. So maybe that's the way to do it, is just like, just leave them there generating extra power. Well, I'll give that a try. I'll give that a try next time. We'll get rid of Planar Insight, Spectral Echo. We'll leave the gems the same. I like those. We'll leave the relics the same. Yeah, we'll give that a try. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it as always. Definitely not my A game on this one. But, you know, if you watched it this far, you're the best, man. I appreciate each and every one of you so much. You have no idea. Anyway, have a great day, guys. Be good.